The following dysfunctional gaming program was filmed in front of a live Twitch audience.
Hello, how you doing? What's happening? I'm Thundercat0420. That guy over there is GM Patch Nasty.
Hi, I'm
And we're
GM
gonna-
Patch Nasty.
We're gonna talk some D&D today with Dysfunctional Gaming's Talking D&D.
Yay, we're talking. All right.
We're gonna talk about hey Griff. We're gonna talk about some shops today. We're gonna talk from the DM's perspective, making shops in your game, having them in your world, the different places that you might have them.
What can happen in a shop?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that shops can do for you as a DM, so we're gonna work that in today. Last week we talked about races in the Player's Handbook, and we had a good time.
Did.
If you missed it, please go back and listen. GM Patch Nasty got really into character, and we had fun.
Well, it was 420, so it was the day to let's just flex. Let's see what I can do and how far I can go. The orc voice hurt. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it was a lot of fun.
To talk like this. Yeah.
For mature audiences, apparently, right? We got the fucking the age restriction on that.
I blame Alan Rickman. Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about shops today. General stores, marketplaces, bazaars. We're talking shops.
Dudes in an alley.
Yeah, a guy with the trench coat selling magic items, or
what are you buying?
Or stolen fake watches.
What are you selling?
So here we go. Yeah, what do you want to bring into the start with? You want to just talk about like
shop?
A world with a shop in it, or do you want to just talk about a shop? You want to talk shop? Let's talk shop.
Let's talk shop. So importance to me. There are two things that will always stand out in my brain as a player. And as a DM, I kind of like to put a little bit of spin on things just to keep it funny. Shops and like bars/taverns are typically the experiences I remember. Like those ones stick out vividly, or like killing a big bad evil guy. That's natural. Like if you kill Strahd, you'll remember that. But if you make friends with the people at the winery or this one little tavern, it kind of sticks out. So shops can be super fun. Like you can have like an indoor restaurant, but it has like this outdoor scenery because it's owned by this famous magic cook. But just put your own spin to it. Like if you have a hardware store and it's called Gnome Depot, have a bunch of dwarves working there just for shits and giggles. Really,
the gnomes own the place, but they only hire dwarves because dwarves have great work ethic.
Yep.
Like.
But yeah, I like a good shop.
Yeah, I've run some good ones. I have one that I set up for our Tuesday game that we never got to because you didn't really go shopping like in the previous campaign. So I haven't been able to put it into the I have one. I just haven't put it into the game.
I've used quite a bit of funny shops and throughout like D&D just by having like the weird shopkeeper or like what's a good one that I remember? Puppies and Kittens. I took from Z Nation, and it was an armory. Like you could buy weapons in there. It was just so people didn't know they had cool stuff, or I like restaurants. Having a good themed restaurants where you can just have players spend fake money on fake food and forget how much to tip is always kind of fun. The restaurant at the end of the universe was pretty cool. I had someone eat unicorn.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep. I had the fantasy Gashapon, like fantasy Costco stuff that I put into my shop from the Adventure Zone. I took all their magic items and made a shop out of their magic items, basically, so we could use those in our game. We had that big marketplace that I built in Brist in the port where you guys did your shopping. You found out about the TV boxes. You found like that's where the fish Like it was like the docks marketplace.
Oh, that's where I bought the ring from the lady, so I
Yep.
wouldn't get stupid from the idiot box, as I
Yep.
called it,
And then you gave the ring away
and the box.
and the box. And then
Future proofing.
and then we totally moved on from that part of the narrative altogether.
Yep. Oh, Gordon Ramsay's a goblin? Get out of here. Get out of here. We don't want no part of that. Sorry, goblins. Thank you, Fuzz. We were doing shop, so I figured, hey, look, there's the till, there's a pentagram for some strange reason, there's a bird, probably stuffed. It's a puppet. Got wizard hats of plenty. That's Aeolus. He's a skull. The scales of justice right there. Probably some potions you don't want to drink. The ones that you do want to drink are behind me that you can't see, and that's where people owe me money.
For the audience, the listening audience, he's got a background on his video picture, so he's got like a little shop behind him.
I need to hire. Look, my shop even has a bell too. Doesn't have a door, but it has
Ding,
a
ding,
bell.
Oh, there's a
That's
door.
the best.
The door's open. There's a doorknob sticking off the side there. I can see it.
Okay. I thought that doorknob was for sale.
I like the skull with the candle on top.
Oh, that one. That one's Hamlet. That's his name.
All right, yeah. Well, thanks for being here, Fuzzrab. Griff, thank you for being here. DD's here. DD said, like most Japanese restaurants in the U.S. are owned by Koreans. Because we were talking
Moving on.
about how the gnomes own the...
I broke Griff. I thought the doorknob was for sale. I got a lamp. Yo, see, look what's behind that till. I gotta move my head. We'll get age content on that one. Whoop.
Oh, I should probably set up then a little bit more.
No, his name is actually Isaac.
The
Raven.
crow?
Yep.
So like let's talk about just a basic general store in Dungeons and Dragons. What kind of things would you do depending on your world? Like,
Well,
how would you?
For ease on my end, if they have it in a player's handbook, they can buy it. That's what you'll find at any adventuring store, any general store. That's typically, what do you want to buy for yourself? If you go to like the first one that sticks to mind is Ravenloft. Blinksey's Goods, where you can buy creepy toys, and maybe he has a cool magic item. That's where I would have like a table or something that you could roll, and you might find. Typically, general stores, I always like, what do you want to buy from the book? What are you looking to get?
What if you're in like a town that has a general store, but it's one of those pass-through towns that people just stop by their stuff and go, and maybe it doesn't have as much stock. What do you like? Would you work that in and be like, okay, everything that's under 4 gold you can get? Like, is that what you would do?
I would. I'm for ease on my DMing style. I would say some of it's shoddily made, like it was made in a haste. Like it looks like this pickaxe is made out of wood. It will still work as a pickaxe, but it's wood. So if there's a fire, you lose the pickaxe. Just so write down wooden pickaxe. You know?
I gotcha.
Yeah, like it's like explaining when something has half HP.
I'd fucking love to see someone use a wooden pickaxe to pick rocks. Like,
yep.
I mean, probably if you're gonna probably spend the same amount of gold as what you would for a regular pickaxe.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
You're passing through. You don't live here. Then you can try and have your social interaction at this place.
Now, what about like we talk about climate and like ecology and stuff. Now, what about shops in different places compared? So, like when you ran Chult, what was the shops in that book compared to like when you ran Fandelver?
Fandelver was basic equipment. Chult things were marked up quite a bit because you're a tourist and it's an island. So, haha. And there were certain, like the Iqua. It's a shorter spear, if I remember correctly. I think you have my book, but that was one of the things. If they know you're a tourist, there are different foods, different flora, fauna things that you could buy. You could buy a dinosaur if you wanted to buy a dinosaur. You guys never had the money to buy a dinosaur. It all depends on where you are. Like if like let's say someone wants to like as opposed to go to a general store, they want to go to like a mom and pop store. That mom and pop store would probably have like different types of food. Like they'd have an explanation on where the bread came from, and it have like a cute little presentation. It still costs the same, but I'd have a little bit more detail in it. It all depends on what you do and where you go.
Now, how does that question? Let me form this question right. How, as a DM, how is it helpful to remember those types of things? Like, how can you remember those things? Like, if you're in Charlotte, you're at a mom and pop's place, remember to put on that little extra. How do you remember to do that?
I wrote some of the stores that I thought you guys would go to. Like, this Bulba voice was kind of the one that I wanted to use for a lot of the places, but you went to one and you paid a little bit of money for things, and they had everything on display. So I had a little star next to like certain places, like make that interaction different, just so I could remember, and I could remember it, so they'd remember it.
Now then, like also with like climate, you could have indoor marketplaces. If it's too cold, they might need to have it inside a mountain, or they could have the marketplace outdoors if it's like a warm climate. Like
If it's 10 towns, then like you're traveling through 10 towns, you'd be going through like an indoor market, and I bet you there's probably at least 4 places that sell furs and warm clothes for people who are just passing through.
well, and that's the thing that might come into play during one of your campaigns where, hey, they're traveling north. It's going to start getting cold. Has anyone gotten any cold gear? What's going to happen when they get close and they start feeling cold? They're going to have to turn around and go get gear from the last city or town before they go any further, or otherwise they'll start maybe having consequences. So that comes into, and then your shops come into play again. Like, oh, well, they have to stop a city before they start going any more north. What's this town like, and how would the shop owners / shop be founded and function? What if it's a seedy town like what is it, Brinshander? No, that's not it. The other one,
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gates. Yeah, that's a city though. I was thinking like a small town, but it's like run by bandits, you know what I mean? And you go into a shop and they're all just like talking, they all know each other, and they all stop and look at you like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's just kind of, this is the last town, village, settlement before you get any further towards the mountains, and it starts getting too cold for you to go any further unless you have some sort of magics that can keep you warm.
I've always been a fan of like do you remember Trash Can Pete?
Yep. Yeah, you bring
That's
them up all the time.
That started off as a marketplace in my head. Like, you guys can find whatever you want for Adventuring Guild, but you have to dig through the trash and make the instant investigation checks. Nothing's going to go wrong. You're not going to spend any money, but you, the player, has to know, and then you, the character, have to act going out and digging through trash for a sword or like some food. You're obviously not going to find a lot of food, but maybe you'll find like a couple trinkets or something.
Gotcha. Now, what's like a step up from like a general store or general shop? Other than magic, there's got to be something in between magic and general. It's got to be more maybe like a
specifics. Like if you go to like a blacksmith, or if you go to a woodworker, or if you go to a glass blower. Like it's your It's like going to a Mexican restaurant. You know what you're going there for, and you can't get like these things off the menu, but you know you can get this, and it's gonna be amazing, but you can't get everything else. It's like
Right.
going to Taco Bell as opposed to McDonald's.
Gotcha. You'd have American food or Mexican food.
Yeah, it's just more of a niche thing.
Yep, got you. Also, you could also maybe put together like this blacksmith works better with adamantine weapons or metals. This guy does better with like a silver. He's a silversmith type deal, you know. So
This smithy is an armorer.
yeah, this guy's gonna make better armor than he will swords, but he can make swords. They're just not going to be as great as his armor is.
Right. You might get a +1 if you do things.
Right.
Like if you give more money. Exactly.
So that's a good way to put it. The next step up would probably be more of a specific type shop, looking for a sword at a blacksmith, or
Here's an
looking
easy
for
one. Like
I need a necklace that gives me like a helps my constitution. You're gonna have to go to a specific item shop to find that, or maybe there's a guy that creates them, and you'd have to go find that man at his shop.
That's a whole different quest.
Exactly.
That's a quest right there. That sounds like a quest. It's like, to put it in another term, it's like going to Kohl's for anything that you can find, or going to a haberdashery because you want a hat.
Right. True. Yeah, so then so the next step up would be magic item shops or magic shops. In D&D,
Right,
you could just say a magic shop because they deal mostly in magics. Depending on your campaign or your world or the settlement that the shop's in, they could be different altogether. The owner could be an old wizard that has wizard spells, or it could be
Hello.
a sorcerer that enchants stuff, or
Oh, hello.
there's a lot of fun that you can have with magic shops. I wanted so Mercer created the one in the first campaign where, what was the guy's name? Gilmore, and he owned a bunch of shops throughout the continent, and he could travel from one to another. I created something along those lines because that was a good inspiration for what I wanted. And mine is, he's a pop-up magic shop where he pops up wherever he wants. So it's like, I'm in Baldur's Gate today. Pop-up shop. Who wants to buy my magic goods? Oh, I'm gonna use my teleport over to Waterdeep, sell some of my goods. Whoop, pop-up shop, here I am. So he has like one of those, I don't know, like a magic spell that creates his shop, and then you get to like see this guy more than once, and you kind of want to like learn his schedule. Like, where's he gonna go next? Where's he heading? Is he heading north, south? If he's heading south, maybe we head south and we can catch him in one of these cities. You know what I mean? I was trying to like figure out how I could push this.
From Destiny 2?
Basically, yeah. Basically, you have to find him. Yes, and it was basically Zur. Yeah.
That's funny because I had the same idea, and it was the same thing, except he was an Illithid. He's only in one spot every 2 days.
I just thought like Gilmore was a good kind of like very like almost a fucking traveler, basically the same kind of like, oh yes, I have. Oh, you need something? I have that. Pop-up shop. Like, and he just like walks out with like the item you need, and you're like, oh yes, that's exactly what I was looking for.
I think one of my favorites that Mercer did, as much as I want to say Victor, having the Pumat souls, it was probably one of my favorite things because it made me giggle, because I was like, hello, I am Pumat Soul. Hello, I am also Pumat Soul.
Right.
And he that was kind of a funny thing. There was something in Descent into Avernus that I wanted to turn into like a little junk shop. They were Kenkus that would scavenge like junkyards and stuff with the held machines, and I wanted to take that and then make you guys like buy stuff off of these Kenkus who didn't know a lot to say, and they were just going to either try to extort you for more money because, you know, you're in hell, And I was just like, all right, let's figure out what type of phrases people in hell would say.
I would have
after they've slowly
I
gone
would have
through.
tried to become friends with them so I could buy their goods cheaper and then build like sweet hell machines all the time. That's what I would probably do.
Perfect. Mad Maggie would have loved you. Her and Mickey the Golem.
Just stay down in hell. Why not?
Oh, it's that campaign. I wanted to see who was going to stay good the longest because you guys like traveling. There are things that you just go evil, and it's kind of funny because it's like it's the vacation aspect. Like you travel with your friends for long enough, you fucking hate them.
Yeah, you start to learn to hate them.
Yeah, it's when I was like, oh, that's so funny, so funny.
A cursed item shop.
Oh,
I think
love it.
I made a cursed
Yeah, you did.
item creator. Not even a shop. It was just a creator. The guy made
great.
magic items and everything was cursed that he made and he didn't know. That
Okay,
was the
so-
fucking best thing.
Let me tell you the item that I got from it. He made a cursed pair of gloves that are like white butler gloves that I don't get to drop anything. And as a barbarian, that's super cool. As a warforged who really didn't deviate from the truth, they also make it so I cannot lie. So it's kind of funny because I like when I buried Kulig and turned him into a vampire, I was like, how am I going to spin this so I'm not lying? Oh, no, I didn't. Why not? Just lead with it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's not Cooling. That wasn't his name.
I don't know. It was, no, hold on. I have the card somewhere over there. I don't want to go up and get it.
It wasn't Cooling. I'm like, Cooling. I'm like, you're putting both campaigns together. I'm like, now I'm getting confused. It was Vandal's dad.
Uncle Dad.
Oh, that's so good.
So what are we talking about next? Are we doing, is it time to enlighten the people about magic stuff? Because we're talking about magic shops.
I mean, we can get into the magic shops if that's what you want to do.
Well, I mean,
Or do
we're
you wanna
talking
just-
about things that get right into the vocab, because if you're making a magic shop, you got to talk about the two things that we're about to talk about.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So first off, we'll get into vocab, and I just want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons monetization, money.
Money.
I know it's like the worst thing about D&D and it's Electrum. That's the worst thing about D&D. No, so
Electrum
there's-
is so cool when you put Strahd's face on it. I'm just
that's
saying.
it. That's the only thing. That's the only time it works. So you got copper, you got silver, you got Electrum, and you got gold. And then past gold is platinum, but we're gonna leave platinum out for a minute because that's easy. Copper, 10 copper makes a silver, 10 silver makes a gold, 10 gold makes a platinum, right? Or is it 100?
100 gold.
100 gold makes a platinum. An Electrum is 1.5 silver pieces, right?
I think so.
I think that's what it is.
Great.
It's
I
like
don't know.
it's like 1.5 silver, I think, is what
I'm looking it up
is.
right now.
But
Electrum.
I cut that out of my game completely.
Electrum is an Forgotten Realms. I'm looking at
Currency, yes.
an EP is $50. 50
Yeah, half a gold.
Yep.
So it's 5 silver.
Yep.
An Electrum piece is 5 silver. So you could just cut that out. It's not worth keeping. So with that, that's how the money situation works in Dungeons and Dragons. Depending on your DM, you might have a high money treasure campaign. You might have low treasure campaign. You might have low magic campaign. You might have high magic campaign. And if you have a high magic campaign, what happens with those magic items? GM Patch Nasty.
You tag them with rarity. So that way your players don't get something well out of their reach at the level that they are at. Hi, I'm GM Patch Nasty, and if you're a new GM, I will take advantage of you. With this table in your DM guide on page 135, I won't do that. So, you have common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary. Never give a play like there are first or higher is common and uncommon, so you'll typically want to give those. 5th level is where you start to see the rare stuff. 11th is very rare, and legendary is typically top tier stuff. Like that's like your Vorpal swords, your luck blades. So a level 1 character should not have a ring of telekinesis. Just throwing that out there. I used it great, but I did take advantage of some people, and I got it at like level 1, and it was amazing because I was always just grabbing stuff because I could. Why not? But potions of healing are also rarities. If you are a DM and they don't have a cleric, you might want to.
Griff has 2 words for you.
I saw. I was moving past it because I was going to apologize in just a second and address you. But potions of healing also have rarities. If they don't have a cleric and you want them to either die or suffer or get through the jungle alive, give them some healing potions. Maybe mark up the price, but always look at your charts. And there are also values. That's kind of more of a guideline. I kind of usually stick around there if people give a deal or if they start to talk. Like that's my what Thundercat is doing. That is my shopkeeper face. How much money can I extort from them? Let me twist my mustache. Rarity is a very big thing when it comes to buying and selling as well. If they have something that you know is worth a lot of money and they don't, as a shopkeeper, you, depending on your alignment and how that NPC might interact with them, you might want to give them less or more money just to have them not ask questions. But yeah, rarity in a nutshell, don't give players super cool magic items unless you don't plan on doing the campaign long because they will break it. Like if you, there is a very rare, there's a legendary magic item called the Deck of Many Things. Never, ever, 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 ever let your players find it unless you want to throw everything you've written out the window and then figure out what you're going to do. That's rarity.
Cool. Let's see. Umlaut, what's up, dude? Sorry I missed the start, but I'm here now. What's happening? Griff, catch me up, dude. What have I missed?
So we can do a quick little catch up. We talked about general stores. We talked about specialty stores like haberdasheries or smithies. We did our vocab. We talked about money in D&D. Don't use Electrum. We talked about rarity in magic shops. Don't give level 1 players super cool magic items.
And we talked about some inspiration we've had in making stuff on D&D.
I wasn't
Forrest's
DM shaming you.
haberdashery.
First of
Just
all,
patch DM shaming me.
all right.
Nope.
So
Nope. We took complete advantage of you.
we did, but however, did we abuse it?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we did.
And did we love it? Every minute of it? Yes, we did. We loved every minute of it.
We had so much fun.
Yes, we loved it too. We had a lot of fun. We know you're
I'm gonna
joking.
throwing a Death Knight at him. Okay, I'm just gonna yoink the egg off the platform and
We're leaving.
Let's get out of here. Yeah. You did roll with it.
If you don't abuse it, are you really playing D&D? Good call, Umlaut.
That's right. That's right.
So
Wow, last night was
yeah,
such a fun
that's
session.
where we're at now. Yeah. So going with like general stores and other shops, they don't necessarily have to be a shop. We talked about it in the very beginning. It could be a man that has a toolbox that he opens, and you can walk into the toolbox, and here you are. You're in his little carpentry hut that he made in a different dimension, and he says, "Hey, I built this chair. Would you like to buy it?"
That'd be so weird. The Ron Swanson gnome who has a
Hell
pocket
yeah.
dimension.
Yep.
Awesome. I'm about that. Well, it's a Vorpal sword. If you roll a 20 and it needs a head, I gave it to you for a reason. I'd like to think. I was reading the chat. I'm sorry.
No, I saw it. Yeah.
I'm the DM who gives cool magic items. I gave this man a deck of many things, and what did he do?
And
He pulled the Avatar Death Kid.
And I killed myself.
Yep. and I didn't permadeath him as I should have.
You should
But I
have.
didn't. I should have. Looking back, I should have, but it's you still had a cool moment from that. You got to shoot a dude with a ballista, and he went flah into a wall.
I also got to become the king of the dwarves.
Mhm.
I think that's a pretty cool moment. Yeah, so we are about a half hour in. Do you want to take a quick break and we'll come back? We'll talk about some past experiences. We'll make a magic shop.
Sure, I'm about that. What are we? We're kicking the ads, right?
Yeah, we got Tony and Joe's still. They're still pushing for that $3 a month. They really just can't get their feet underneath them again. I don't know if you saw their real estate ad before the fucking in Zombo Force, but I'll take you to the magic shop.
Yeah. I'll have you spending all you've got.
We'll be right back with the magic shop talk.
Place where all the potions pop.
Keep going, Griff. Keep writing it.
Oh, we're going to the magic shop. The place where all the potions pop. Talk to me and the price might drop. Woo! We're gonna make a magic shop, y'all. Thanks, Griff.
Oh my god.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back from that ad break as I broke Thundercat. Got him giggling.
Let's make a
Goddamn
magic
people.
shop.
Magic shop. Where is this magic shop? Middle of nowhere or in a city?
Where do we want it to be?
That's what I'm asking you.
Well, if it's Throckmorton's, buddy.
It would probably be in the middle of nowhere. There'd probably be someone who's very secluded.
What about like the Harples type people?
Yes, I like them. I don't
They
know
have
what
their
they
own
are,
like
but yes.
they have their own like village, and it's just like the weird wizards.
I like it. Oh, I know. He's trying to say diagonally. One of those words. I don't know. I was still doing like 3 different voices there.
You're in like
I'm trying to figure out my shop.
You're in the circle of the Venn diagram where they meet.
Mm-hmm. So
Diagon.
yeah, let's have it in the Harple area. Let's have it be.
So
I want to have.
So this guy's friends with the Harples. That's why he's there.
Yes. Well, he trades books and information for stuff. I wouldn't say anyone's really friends with Throckmorton. They just know him.
Well, no, yeah, I'm saying yeah. Well, this guy he's friends with the Harples.
Yep.
That's why he's in their village and owns a magic shop there.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm thinking actually he's probably a Harple.
Okay.
And he's like a druid who makes these enchanted type druidy, maybe weapony type stuff. Like it's the wormwood of
What about like a nature wizard instead of a druid?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to have him have little animals that help him and make things.
He could still have animals help him. He could have polymorphed people into animals. The Harples are fucking weird.
Fair enough.
They'll do crazy shit. They do experiments on each other. So one of the animals could be like their sister. Like it's like, oops, I accidentally polymorphed you into a cat. You're gonna be a cat for the rest of your life.
Mm. Sure, let's go with that.
I haven't figured out how to not to polymorph you yet.
That's probably
the Harples. That's why I like the Harples, because you can literally make up anything with them. It will stick.
Because I was thinking having like a Radagast type shopkeeper.
That's
Radagast the Brown.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Purple family run. Radagast type. Owner. And he like deals with like nature magic stuff instead of
Yep.
like specifically for him. So he would have like the tokens
He's
that
the-
like turn into animals.
He's the ever elusive, no one ever wants to do the multi-class for it, Druid Wizard.
Okay.
Literally. Yep. I wanted that. I don't know how I would make it, but I'm going to make it now. Druid Wizard.
All right. Maybe that's what I'll do with when we play.
Yeah, there you go. That's so weird, though. Like, I'm done. Go on.
They're wisdom and intelligence, so it'd be different.
It depends on where you want to start.
Yep. I'm trying to think of it now, and it's making my head hurt.
Yeah, right? Like, it's like,
Druid, wizard. What does he have, though, that he's selling specific? Does he... Drizzard? It's a Drizzard.
A Drizzard? Wooid. Wooid is really fun to say. Wooid? It's all wooid.
It sounds awful.
Oh, it's twoo. It's twoo. Sorry, I
hurts my-
really like wooid.
It hurts my ears. Wooid.
Wooid. I love it. Yeah.
That's not even. Why would you
Dude.
even? Like, first off, wooid. You missed like 7. You left like 8 letters out that could have worked in there too.
Ruid? Any better?
It'd be weird, actually.
Weird?
Weird.
Weird.
Forgot the I. You gotta put the I back in there.
We're making a shop. Let's stop focusing
Yes,
on naming
what
the
the heck?
class. What would this?
So I was thinking like he would have the tokens that like turned into like he'd have a wooden token of a crab, and then every day you can turn it into a crab, and it like obeys you for the day, kind of like a Guinevere panther
Yeah,
token.
I like that.
But like there's just a bunch of like he does like little animals, so that's where he gets his animals. Then like he just like has a bunch of tokens that he's made and enchanted and pulled different astral animals from the astral plane to pull that take like the crab. You know what I mean?
Some of them are raised dead, like dead people, but they're just in a cat or like a fish.
The cat's walking around like half the fur's missing. You could see like its bones sticking out, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Oh, that's just Signar."
Snowball.
Yeah.
Snowball. Jeez, you're giving your character crabs as this D&D only fan. Hey, there's nothing wrong with little crabs. It's the huge, giant crabs you got to look out for.
Yeah, that's true. Or I mean, some of the little ones can get a little overbearing.
When you have a bunch of crabs, it can get
a swarm of
too
crabs. I like how you just shake your head. Yep.
That's what. I'm sorry, I forgot we had that
Swarm of crabs.
clip.
So we have he makes tokens, or they make tokens.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. We make tokens. Yes.
That he.
What? No. Yes, we do.
Meow.
Shut up, Felix. What?
That make tokens of animal companions.
We also have ever smoking pipes. Yes.
Oh yeah, tell me about those.
Yeah. Well, I craft them and then I enchant them, and then you either prestidigitate a flame or you produce your own flame to it, and it just smokes and smokes and smokes. It
What if you
depends on
put
what you're looking for.
What if you put the flame out? Does it continue to smoke?
Well, yes, if you stop the flame and you
Okay.
cover the source of it, yes.
All right. Well, you
What?
said ever. You said
No,
ever
I don't think
smoking.
he's dumb.
You said ever smoking, so I figured.
Yes. Like, you can always put, like, you don't have to put
once
things
you
in it.
use it, you lose it. Is what I was thinking.
That's not true.
All right, ever smoking pipes? What else do you
Yes.
have in this magic shop there? What's your first name, Mr. Harple? Rickwell.
Why would I give him that name? Yes, Rickwell. That's a good name.
Rickwell Harple.
Most people call me Rarple.
How are you related to the Harples?
They found me and gave me the last name.
Checks out.
Yep. I was in a circus.
What did you do in the circus?
I trained cats. And Felix was the first one.
What kind of cats?
Living ones at first, and the dead ones are easy to command. We don't want to talk about the circus anymore.
Are we talking about like house cats? Are we talking about large cats? Because like normally in circus they have like lions and tigers, right?
We did.
Do you still have them? Because you talked about raising dead.
Well, there's no more circus. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. What happened with the circus?
Well, it's very gruesome. You didn't hear about it. Famous circus. Mauled to death by lions. One sole survivor. Yes, hello.
Okay, I like how where we're going with this.
So what were you looking for?
Hold on.
I have potions of every sort. Some of them I know what they do. Some of them by your own risk. That one is fish potion. Turns you into a fish. Or it gives you kills, whichever one.
Now, whichever one, so I could turn into a fish or I could have gills.
Yes.
Are they permanent?
I'm not sure. I haven't tested them.
So you don't know if so you don't know if I could possibly just turn into a fish forever. Then this is where I look around at the rest. This is where I look around at the rest of the room and see how many animals are in here that are looking like
There's a
this.
lot.
Like,
probably some that are stuffed.
Are they all shaking their head?
There's-
Don't do it.
You can see a goldfish in a castle with his little crown on, and he's just staring at you. Though. Oh, that's the third Neverwinter. Him.
Okay. What else you got in here?
I have a little bit of everything. And if
Got
you're
any
looking for metal,
potions?
this is. Yes. Looking for the healing type or the things that don't heal you. And do
Healing
things that I
ones.
don't know.
You have healing potions?
Yes, they smell bad, so I might give you a little bit of a discount, seeing how you're with him.
How do
I
you
like
guys
him.
know each other?
Oh, I was at the circus that day. Yeah.
So, 2 soul survivors.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. So confused. Throckmorton, why were you at the circus that day? What were you doing there?
Watching the lion show, obviously.
How did you
Then it went-
survive?
I know how to dimension door.
So there was 2 survivors.
I would like to say that I wasn't there at first. I kind of was just stopping in and saying hello, and then
Saying hello to who?
the lion. And that's as much as I would like to discuss about that matter.
Oh, all right.
I don't know what he's talking about either, if it makes you feel any better. And I was there.
Well, it looks like we've got a magic shop, I think. It's
Yes. You could buy things here. So I would say, as I drop character, as people would peruse, healing potions, you probably wouldn't find anything higher than a rare. Like probably a greater healing potion would be topping it.
I feel like he's a basic magic item shop. Like nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. It'd be fun to make some like random magic items for him. Like I said, like those tokens, you could really pick any animal and be like, you want a dolphin? Here's your dolphin token. Like you could
I
really
would
just have like a bunch of cool just animals that he likes. I don't know, have random animals, not always
Yeah.
like the basic ones that would show up in the book. Because I know there are tokens for like owls and panthers and those tokens, but
Feathers,
yeah,
like the giant
the
rocks.
feather, exactly. Yeah, I think him making tokens would be a cool thing to have as a, hey, you want a little dog to have? That's a token. If it dies, it goes right back to the token. You have to wait a day for it to come back. Like it's never gonna, you know what I mean? I think it'd be cool to have a little companion, I guess.
I also like to have that cool like special item for like if someone rolls really high, like
Yeah.
you might find like the diamond and like the literal rough, like something that he traded for and he doesn't know what it does, or
Yeah.
he's
Oh, I
quite
just got
possibly
this
forgotten.
in from
I don't remember
a
what that does. You can
passerby.
just
Yeah.
sure.
600 gold is yours. I don't even know what it does, but I know it's powerful.
Yep. It's honestly, it all depends. Like once you start talking about prices in a magic shop, it depends on how they've interacted with said shopkeeper. Like
A bag of desaturation.
that's that's a magic bag where you put things in and then it spits it out and then it loses its color. Yep, it's a magical MacGuffin that we need for the plot line that I just realized right now as I'm sitting here. But Tomo on his quest for cheese wanted a bag of holding. He put a piece of cheese in there and the cheese came out with no color. And I was immediately pissed off because it's a troll bag. You put things in it and it spits it out.
What color cheese was it to go in?
I don't remember. Oh, and it makes stuff invisible. I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Yeah. Once a day.
Well, that's weird, but I like it.
It doesn't work like a bag. That was the one thing I was like, this is the worst.
Yeah, you can't like. It's not a bag. It's a.
I can't put 95 pounds of cheese in it.
Right.
But yeah, like having something silly like that, or having something that you need for the quest, having that, the MacGuffin inside this magical shop that they don't even know they might have it. It might be stuck on the inside of a book they bought, and someone's finally got to open up the pages.
The thing that I like about Dungeons and Dragons DMing is that you can really put anything in to make it work at the time you need it to, and you can always pull stuff from it. So there's been times where I'm like, tonight's the night that they're gonna figure this out. When they show up about an hour in, they're gonna figure this out finally. I'm gonna be able to drop this knowledge. I write it all out so I can tell you how it goes. And then you don't do any of the stuff that I had planned for it. And I'm like, well, then they're not gonna know this information unless they do the stuff. And by that point, I'm like, I can really just put this in somewhere else when they find something else, or when they go to a different place, I can be like, this is what they find now, and just like adhere it to that situation. That's one of the things that I like the best about being a dungeon master, is being able to like write all that stuff down, have it in my head for that session, not use any of it for that session, and then the next session I'm working it in a different way, but it's still the same information that I needed you to hear. It just takes a little while longer because you didn't go the way I expected, or out of the 4 outcomes I wrote, you took a 5th outcome.
Yep, that's typically how D&D works right there. Give us 4 roads to take, we find a 5th one.
Yeah, you go down instead of all the other ways.
So yeah, DM,
that's what I like about it.
A magic shop is another way to give a player's an adventure hook after they finish their adventure. As I just said, you could have a letter inside of a book, or inside of a scroll, or inside of a staff, and it reads about a princess and another special item that, if goes with this, you can do X. You are the DM. You create a universe and you bind it with rules.
You ever do make a perception check? They roll low. You're like, You don't really notice anything.
Or you
And
just
then,
go,
like,
okay.
And then like three like 30 minutes later, you're like, make a perception check trying to get them to finally figure out that they see the thing, but you don't want to like overly push it
my
on
favorite one.
people.
My favorite one is like, what are you guys doing at long rest, or what are you doing at camp, or what are you doing while you're taking a short rest? Like, because I'll be able to be like, all right, what are you doing? Okay, I'll work something in there. If I got nothing, this is an adventure. Write it down. Like someone will write it down.
Yep.
Or like the perception check is that's giving someone an opportunity to fail. But like if let's say, oh, I'm reading my book. As you're thumbing through, you happen to notice that on the inside cover
If
there's
they
a letter.
if they actively say they're going to read the book, but you the whole time that those 3 hours beforehand, you're like, make a perception check. Oh, you don't see that little note sticking out of that book that you're holding. Like you don't see it, or nope, you still don't see it. And then finally, they're like, I'm going to read that book. You're like, oh, you finally see that little note sticking out. Like I've definitely had times where I was like, make a perception check, investigate make an investigation check while you put your hand in your bag to reach for something. Oh, no, never mind. You don't notice.
I've been on the receiving end of that.
Yep.
Yep.
So I don't
noticed nothing.
and I don't like to give away too much stuff unless you have that passive perception that can kind of go with it. Like, oh, you felt something, your hand went by something in the book. You're like, wait a minute. And then you touched it. You're like, oh, there it is. Yeah, I can see that. If you have a high enough passive perception, shit like that happens. But
I'll agree and disagree because I like that, but there's also times when it's like, well, we've kind of just traveled on a caravan for so long. Maybe they'll meet somebody else who's like, maybe I want to give a little bit of the plot, but not like give it where I want to give it, and it kind of fits the narrative. Like if you guys, if the party's just been dicking around doing side quests, and finally like you want to introduce like an old adventurer, maybe he's bumped into the guy or some of the people that they've adventured across if they talk to him.
right.
Paint him like Bob Ross because most people want to talk to Bob Ross. I would.
Sure. All right. How do you want to put? We got Throckmorton. How do we? Why does Throckmorton want to go to the Harple Village before he heads anywhere?
Why not?
Okay, good answer. That's it. That's all I need. Story time stands is over. I feel like Throckmorton probably fits in with the Harples, and that's probably why he likes going there.
Yep.
All right. You got anything else you want to add in on magic shops, general stores, bazaars, marketplaces, the guy with the trench coat, or the man pushing the meat cart?
From the player's aspect, learn your damage dice. Have a copy of like some basic prices for equipment to make it easy for us, your DMs. DMs, remember, always write down what you're giving away to the characters, so you remember in case they don't remember. And two, always remember attunement. That's a big one. Like keep who's attuned to what on hand, so that way if you don't have a party to remember who's got 5 attunements or what you're giving away.
I'll say to add on to the DMs about knowing what you give your players, you should definitely write down what you give your players. But if you're and make sure you give your players a note card or have them write it down. They don't write it down. They don't have that note card. Guess what? They don't have that weapon or they don't have that item anymore. Don't feel bad. Be like, yeah, I gave you that, but you misplaced it. You don't know what you have. You must have lost it in game. It must have not been that important. Don't give in. Those guys, yeah. If you didn't write it down, you probably don't have it, or you gave it away. That means you erased it.
Yep.
So remember to write stuff down from a player's standpoint. Write it all down. Write everything. Everything
Bring
you get.
index cards.
Yes. Write them. I write a list of all the people I meet, their names, and where I meet them, so I can remember.
From a player's perspective, I write down bounties and where I got them. And from a DM's perspective, I loved giving players cool magic items on item cards or like index cards because it's always that like that old OG D&D feel. Plus, also, then when the campaign finishes, they have a token of, I had this fucking super cool petrification basilisk fucking serpent fang.
And when they DM, they can use it as a weapon for their campaign and hand it back to you or someone else in the next game of your group, and that would be fun and cool to be like, oh my god, this made it all the way back here from 6 years ago. Like,
yep,
that would be fun.
Down to a cat is reading notes in chat.
No,
Genuinely kills me that I can't give you guys index cards for the random stuff you've acquired on Monday nights. It pains me a little bit, but then again, you've also given me a YouTube video that I've liked and is now bookmarked.
YouTube videos, dope.
Right?
I listened to
that
it.
Was dope. You should certainly, if you're in there and out there listening to us, you should check out either one of our Twitters at GMPatchNasty or at Thundercat0420. We have our Discord link in there. Click it, join it, go on the tab and talk.
I'll have the link tree in the description of the podcast and on YouTube. So you can go to all of our stuff, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, our Patreon, our TikTok, everything on there.
Yep. What's funny is Umlau, I had I read a one shot for him and I did Freddy versus Jason, and it was very tropey. I have the item cards for Jason's machete, Freddy's hat, and Freddy's glove. The glove and the hat were cursed. The machete did a lot of damage, and no one got it. It was something obscene, and I was like, no, I'm not going to give this to Griff because this will break his game.
Next week, Tuesday.
What are we talking about? Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk about classes, players handbook classes.
Monk Master Race.
We'll try to go through all of them, but I know the classes are a lot bigger than the races, so we might do a few.
I wanna say this. If we break down, we should only do a couple of the subclasses. Like once you get into that, we'll just talk about base mechanics of classes. If you like a certain class, please let us know. Tell us in Discord, tell us on Twitter, and we can possibly do a whole episode on that class. I assume we will probably do one, but it might get it quicker. Who knows? You might want to be a fiend Hex Blade Warlock. I think you can do that. Nope, you can't because the Hex Blade is a patron.
Close though.
Paladin Master Race, get out of here. Honestly, out of the two of you, it's real hard to say who played a better Paladin because Vivi.
What kind of Paladin is he?
He was what? I don't remember what he was.
Vengeance.
But I think so.
Vengeance is the one that gets the rebuke, the retaliation, devotion.
Yeah. So you both played a really
devotion paladins are super cool, but I picked the ancient one because I wanted to be different because I had never even heard like anyone play it before. So
honestly, it worked. It worked for both of you because the ancient one worked for Chult, and that devotion paladin. When as soon as I brought out, "Hi, I'm Sastar. I'm a Yanti who's a great old one warlock. I kind of like warlocks myself. I talk like that inside your brain space, and I'm a snake person. You're kind of gonna look at me sideways. Thanks." And he left. He made a new character. It was quite possibly one of the best sessions, and I don't think we had a lot of dice rolled.
Nice.
Yeah, those are always my favorite.
Next week we're going to do classes. We're gonna have some fun with that. And then tomorrow night on Dysfunctional Gaming, I will be back with Double D. We will be playing some sort of game together. We're going to try to start doing Mondays and Wednesdays on DG together. And then we have Thursday night.
Hello. Console night. I believe it's going to be on Vandal stream at Vandal0. I've been bit by the Destiny bug. I hope he has also been bit by the Destiny bug because it's going cross-play. So people on PC, people on Xbox, and people on PS4 can play together in the massive multiplayer online world of Destiny.
When?
I don't know, but it's soon.
You should keep saying crossplay. Don't download it. Don't do it. Fuck that game.
Download it. Play that game. It's gotten fun. We play that on Thursdays. I've rather enjoyed it. I'll probably start early on Thursday, depending on how I'm feeling. I know next week I won't be doing shit on Thursday. What are we doing on Friday, Thundercat?
Friday's open.
So there's a thought process. Since I'm having stuff ripped out of my head on Thursday, and next Thursday, and typically we do a podcast on every other Friday called Stay on Brand, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Time to be changed, TBA. So we might be able to do something like that because we're talking about things that piss us off. Then why not piss everybody off and do it a week early?
Well, we'll have to talk with the team and not piss off our team. So we'll talk with them later and figure it out. But if you're hearing this now and you're hearing it first, we might be on Friday night with some Stay on Brand. But
Get pissed off.
That's a maybe. Get pissed off. Let's go. All right.
If it's not on Friday, it'll be on the 14th.
Yes. Any other outro plugs? Saturday we have our team games. I don't know what we're playing, but we can do whatever.
Quack.
Yeah, we could probably do some Duck Game, maybe some Phasmo, Rocket League, anything. I don't know. We have a bunch of stuff we can play as a team.
Don't forget, Duck Game is very fun, and we have a clip command. I don't know if everyone can use it, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone can use it.
Then you can certainly clip it and have it put in our Discord, and we can put it up on our TikToks and all the good stuff. And
anyone can clip anyways from Twitch. So
nice. Well, it's easier when you just go clip.
Shameless self promo. You got anything going on?
Oh, hi. Wednesday. So Thursday, the 6th, I think, is the day. Hold on. The 6th, I'm having stuff ripped out of my head because you should take better care of your teeth because I didn't. So I'm going to try to stream tomorrow, and I want to stream Marvel Avengers because Hawkeye is a superhero as much as we've figured out that he's just really, really good accuracy. Fuck you. He's a superhero. Sorry, the city was flying. They're fighting robots, and he had a bow and arrow.
Yeah, because he's a
superhero.
He's a friggin' dummy.
Fucking superhero.
The guy's mentally ill.
None of it makes any sense.
No, he's out of his mind. Why would you want, you can't stop any of those lasers from hitting. Like, if you get hit with, you're dead. You're not Iron Man. It's not going to bounce off you. You don't have a shield made of adamantium that's going to fucking whatever it is.
But no, that's the plan for tomorrow. Is I'm going to be playing Marvel Avengers in the old new Hawkeye DLC because it looks fun.
Oh yeah,
Hawkeye
have fun.
I will.
Are you playing on Saturday or Sunday?
I'm thinking about making Saturday afternoons wrestling and playing N64 wrestling because it's near and dear to my heart and it's not shitty like new wrestling. So yeah, Saturdays and Sunday. Saturdays is going to be wrestling from 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on when I have to get groceries, and then Sunday is usually the Destiny grind.
Sounds good.
Twitch.tv/GM Patch Nasty. I got sweet emotes. Hi, Disto.
Disto's here. Hi, Disto. We are actually ending for the night. My shameless self promo is going to be come here to Dysfunctional Gaming and watch me play video games with my friends. I am going to be playing more on this than I will be on my personal page. But I will be trying to do at least a Saturday or Sunday stream, depending on the time. But I'm going to try.
Maybe you could play some Destiny with me.
On when? Saturday?
Maybe I'll switch things around if you want to play some Destiny and get sweaty in that Crucible.
I don't.
I know you don't.
You can play Warzone with me.
I gave you an hour. Give me an hour.
I played like 800 hours of Destiny with you for
I know.
For 4 years. For 4 years straight.
We met people through there. We would have never met Griff otherwise. So throwbacks.
I'll consider checking out your guys' channels, Disto.
Thank you, Disto. I appreciate it.
Me too. I appreciate it too. Let's raid, and I know who I'm going to raid already.
Yeah, we are.
We're going over to Throg. Throg's on his 1 year affiliate anniversary stream. I'm a big supporter of him. He is a big supporter of us and the stuff that we do. He's the Retro King. Everybody go check them out. I am not cutting this out of the podcast because I think
Damn
everyone
right.
needs to go to twitch.tv /Throg TV and check out one of the best retro streamers in the game right now. And also, I would say a friend of ours after the amount of stuff that we've hung out and played games with and filled with.
Throg is the type of person I would, yeah, most people say I would go have a beer with him. I would have a delicious Dunkin' Donuts coffee with Throg.
I'd have a nice IPA with them. So
yeah.
we're gonna head over to that. So everybody throw the Randy raids in the chat if you can. Pretty good amount of us in here. Let's go. And we're gonna go over to the ending screen. You're up.
I gotta hydrate first so you can vamp a little bit more.
Thanks for getting dysfunctional moderators. That's it. Just moderators. That's all we have.
The moderators, dysfunctional dad and disto leading in. GM patch nasty in the Streamlabs Thundercat going too fast and it's all 8-bit. We went to the magic shop, bought some things. The guy was creepy. Yes, he was. Lost the tune in my head, but it don't matter, cause Disney's bringing that Brinks truck up. They're paying for Randy's time. I'm sorry.
Thanks, guys. That was so good. All right, bye. Smooches.
Have a good one.
Boop.
Mwah.